So the Promised Neverland continues on getting mysterious and keep on getting to the point where it's starting to drag on for me for a bit. Even though I'm enjoying this series, it's starting to drag on for a little bit, and I'll talk a little bit why it's starting to feel drag on later on in the review. So without further ado, let's crack down to chapter 8 of the Promised Neverland. Hit the intro.
Double up.
Okay, so the Promised Neverlands continue on trying to escape from the orphanage farm. And with the orphanage farm, they're trying to continue on escaping like I just mentioned. But the thing is, this chapter opens up with Emma running out going playtime, and then Isabel, Mama Isabel, as I'm going to just call her, double checks her, like checking her ears and making sure her collar ain't crooked and stuff, and then they go play. While this happens, she meets up with Norman and Ray, or Roy, I can't remember now, Ray, and they discuss, and she tells she found out that the trackers are planted in the ear like a prick, like we learnt last chapter, and they discuss how they can deactivate these trackers now that they found out where exactly they are. They even mentioned that the trackers have a limited range, so when they get to the gate or the wall, the trackers stop receiving things, so there is a limited range of that and stuff and everything. So they mentioned how they're going to tell, because they also mentioned that they might be programmed to tell the demons / aliens about them being deactivated and have to let Mama, Isabel and Corone know that they've been deactivated, so they have to reactivate, or Isabel has to tell them and whatnot and everything, so they can't really destroy them, so they had to come up with another plan. Roy then comes up saying that it only leaves them out of time, not just us, we have to figure out a way to get the rest out of here as well, not just us, and he says leave it to me, or figure out how to deactivate the trackers and everything, and stuff like that. And then Emma then just suddenly blurts out after Norman mentions that it's going to be hard to try to get all the kids, because all the kids, like the children, the babies and everything that can't walk and stuff, all trust Mama, and they won't take the truth very hard, and they can't really take it on with them as much, so they have to figure out a way. So Emma thought, how about we do the escape via a play, like they playing tag and stuff like that. And so they start teaching the other kids how Norman and Emma always being able to be the last two in this tag game, playing tag, and they continue teaching them the ways and everything like that, because they're students, and make them students to figure out tracking and how Norman can always be hiding and always be not being able to catch them and everything like that. They're just learning those ways. Near the end of the chapter, Corone shows up holding out her pocket watch tracking device and says, "Oh, you seem like having fun. Would you mind letting me join in?" With that creepy grin when she shows up and letting everyone know. And by the looks of things on that same page as well, on the last page and everything, Emma and Norman were a bit shocked that she found them like that instantly. So I don't know if her tracking device is different to Mama Isabel's tracking device, or it ain't. But yet again, this was an okay chapter, but I'll be talking into a little bit that it's starting to drag on for me, where it's getting to the point where I'm getting sick of always seeing the orphanage now, and nothing's really built up. We're 8 chapters in. 8 chapters is very slow in doing an escape type of thing that I feel like. Maybe I might be wrong with a lot of people, but I enjoyed the first 7 chapters of the Promised Neverland, and they were really interesting and everything. Chapter 8 just now gave me that needle in the coffin of where it's now at the dragon point of this mini arc, as I'm calling it, of the escape, the orphanage farm arc, as I'm dubbing it. Because you've got all the intel that they've got, pretty much enough intel now what they can do about the trackers and how they're going to escape and everything within this chapter. But it's just getting so dragged out now, because it became interesting when Corone comes in, but it just feels like that the writer is just, the mangaka is just now rinse and repeat on dragging on this whole mini arc until it comes. I will be still reviewing it weekly, that's the thing, but this really is somewhat of dragging out now, because nothing really interesting has actually happened now. Apart from chapter 1, the introduction chapter, what made me hooked on this series, about seeing these demons and everything, this chapter was literally just there. It just felt like it was placed there that they couldn't think of anything or being able to figure out to fast pace them escaping, because this chapter could be the chapter that would get it canned, to me anyway. So I'm hoping that chapter 9, 10 is the final two chapters where they're in the orphanage and where they finally having to accept that they can't have the kids escape with them, that it has to be those three. It has to be Norman, Ray / Roy / and Emma to be the only ones to escape. But that's only me thinking about that. But yet again, it was an interesting chapter, very much more informative chapter and everything for this chapter of the Promised Neverland. But it did feel slightly a bit of dragged out a little bit for my liking, that it's getting to the point where I really want them to get going and get this escape plan now on the way, because I don't know if I can deal with another chapter of them still putting a plan together for them to then still be in the orphanage after talking 7 chapters and now 8 chapters in of them escaping and trying to get all the kids escaping. And that really is what really is getting me to the point where I might drop the series, but I don't want to, because chapter 1 was interesting and I want that interestingness back after this chapter. It wasn't a bad chapter, it was just a dragged on chapter, very bit of a chapter, but it literally needed to get going now with this escape plan, or it won't get anywhere else. Without further ado, hopefully you enjoyed this review. Comment what you liked and didn't like about chapter 8 of the Promised Neverlands down in the comment sections below. I've been your host, Kai from Kai's Take Corner, member of the 00 Club, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now. See ya. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed this review of the Promised Neverlands chapter 8. I really did enjoy reviewing it and gave you my actual almost opinion of the chapter, and I really gave you a thorough opinion on the chapter and how everything, and definitely how I mentioned it dragged on. It's definitely my true feelings of the chapter, that I'd still enjoyed it, but it did feel like it's dragging on now and stuff like that. But without further ado, if I remember to do it, you can hit the I at any point to check out my last 3 reviews of the Promised Neverlands by clicking the I at any point of the video. If you liked what you saw, you can give this video a thumbs up, and if you want to keep getting updates of all my latest videos that I get mentioned and post, you can hit that subscribe button and you can get all notified by my videos as well. If you've got Facebook, I have a Facebook fan page that you will find the link down in the video description down below. If you've got Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter as well, because most of my videos are linked once they're uploaded via Twitter, so they can be instantly posted to my Twitter, so you guys can then instantly know and keep up to date with my latest videos via Twitter if you use it. So you can also find my Twitter down in the description down below as well. Now, if you've got that Anime Amino app, I don't go on it much, but if you've got that Anime Amino app, you can you can search Kai's Otaku Corner, and you can follow me, friend me on that as well. But like I said, I don't go on it much, and I'm looking into making the Promised Neverlands community app, so you guys can give your thoughts and theories later on with this manga chapter, and your thoughts about what's going to be happening in the latest chapters as well in that community, and I will be giving a proper update of that community later on as well. But other than that, I've been your host, Kai from Kai's Take Corner, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now. See ya.